do. We are live. So hello, gorgeous women on the rise. I am here with the gorgeous Kate Hall today, and I'm really excited for her to be sharing her business with you, because I remember a few months ago when I first met Kate and she shared with me her business idea. I was just like, oh my gosh, I love it. It's amazing. This is going to be incredible. I can't wait to support you and all of these things. So I'm going to get her to tell you a little bit about her business and how she helps people and her absolutely fantastic idea behind it in a moment. Kate is one of my gorgeous clients, so I also wanted to give her the opportunity to share with you a little bit about what it's like working with me, whether it's in an academy or in a mastermind or whatever it might be. If you're watching the replay, because I know lots of people will, then definitely pop in your comments, ask Kate any questions. We'd love to hear from you as people do join live. No one's found us just yet. One person's found us. Then if you've got any questions, then please do pop them in as we go. So Kate, welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell everyone what your business is all about?
Yes, thanks, Claire. So my business is called The Full Freezer, and the whole concept behind it is basically helping busy parents to reduce their food waste and de-stress that activity of daily cooking, basically by teaching them how to use their freezers more effectively. And it all started essentially in my own house, in my own life, because I used to batch cook back sort of pre-kids and when I had my first kid. And then when I had my second, I kept buying food and essentially I would just watch it go off in my fridge. Like that sort of feeling where you think your fridge is a time machine, and if you close the door, maybe when you reopen it, that food that was going off will be less gone off. And funnily enough, that never worked. So after quite a while of doing that and just hoping food would go off less, and then switching to a lot of convenience foods, which weren't very healthy and were really expensive and were boring, quite frankly. I had sort of, one of those light bulb moments where it was like, why am I not applying what I know about freezing food to the stuff that I've got in my fridge? And surely if I can freeze a lasagna, then I can freeze all of the things that go into a lasagna as and when I can around the kids. Because my problem was always that it's not that I don't have any time to cook or that I don't want to cook anything. I quite enjoy it when it's not stressful and I don't have to use too much kind of headspace to do it. It was more about having those chunks of time where I just felt like every time I started trying to cook, you'd end up with like a child screaming or a toddler climbing on you. And it's like, oh, this is not fun. So I started freezing individual items kind of as and when I could fit in. And that has essentially massively reduced my food waste. And once I did that, I then realized that it's like, but I can cook these things from frozen. I can cook onions from frozen, like I can cook carrots and everything.
And that's the bit that really connected with me a little bit, because I do not batch cook. Like I've never batch cooked anything in my life. My mum didn't batch cook, so I'm not in like the batch cooking like tribe at all. I'm just like, no, it's enough to cook one thing. Forget batch cooking. However, what we do a lot of in our house is stir fries, right? We do stir fries all the time. That's probably one of our go-to things that we have all the time. And one of the things I always think about is, one, having the fresh ingredients to put in it and trying to stay on top of that, as opposed to opening it and be like, right, well, we're having a stir fry with rice and chicken and maybe some frozen peas tonight. That's it. Actually having like a proper exciting stir fry. Hi, Chloe. And so when you started sharing the fact that actually you can pre-prepare all the vegetables and just cook, like have those frozen, and then it's literally, and the way you shared it, you were like, and you can just throw in a handful of that and throw in a handful. I was like, oh, genius.
And like all the little things that have come out of it as I've gone along. I'm like, my husband offered to chop a bag of onions because he's like, she's not going to ask me to do anything else. She just wants chop the onions. I can do that. Like, I'm happy with that. And he's even cooked me dinner from the freezer stash because he's like, I know it's all prepared. So if I'm literally just telling him, right, handful of this, handful of that, chuck it in the pan, boil some rice. He's like, oh yeah, okay, that's straightforward. And even the kids are getting involved now, which is lovely. And things like freezing fruit, so that my children are notoriously bad for eating like half a banana or half an apple, and so now I will freeze the other half, and then I have it in my porridge or in a smoothie or whatever. So I sort of went through all of that process myself, and then at the start of lockdown, I decided to write an ebook to kind of share what I knew, because I felt like this is a time when this information could be really, really helpful to people. So I gave that away for a little while. And then I got made redundant from my day job. And it was like, that was the kick that I needed. And it just so happened to kind of coincide with me coming across you. And just it kind of felt like it was one of those sort of stars aligned moments where it's like, right, got to do this now. This is it. So essentially I started kind of with your support I've done a bit of one-to-one coaching and everything, but more importantly for me, I'm focusing my efforts on launching a proper training program, sharing what I know, so that I can go to many, because I'm a bit like, one-to-one is great and I love it. Like the reactions, like I was chatting, I had an accountability call with someone yesterday, and she's like, yeah, I'm getting on great. Like I froze this and I've frozen that. And I'm now looking at everything going, can I freeze that before I throw it in the bin? I'm like, yes, that's brilliant. And then she said, oh, and the best part is that I'm actually doing it with my nan now as well.
Wow.
And the nan lives on her own, and she'd been saying that she's not really eating because it's like, oh, I just can't be bothered to cook for one person. And so she's now, my client is cooking enough for her nan, like, enough for 3 adults, so that she can freeze a portion for her nan. Or she'll also go around, and she said, I could build a freezer stash for her so that she can cook a nice meal, but just for one person, rather than being like, well, I've got to use the whole onion or I've got to use a whole pepper.
Exactly. Build a freezer stash. I love it. That is it. I love it. So absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the academy. So obviously you joined in the challenge, right? You joined in not this challenge, but the challenge before that I ran. What made you decide to say yes? Because I know that lots of people will have watched the challenge last week, and maybe they're thinking, oh, it would be amazing, but can I, but can't I, but whatever. So like, just share a little bit. What, if you remember, what went through your head before saying yes, and what questions did you have, and like, how did you find that experience?
So I would say, for the challenge, it was a no-brainer to just, run with that. And it was the first time where I actually did the exercises. And I found that I remember at the time there being a lot of comments of people saying, like, I've kind of done challenges before, but I dipped in and out. Yeah. And I think it was that thing of, I actually wanted to answer the questions and complete stuff. But the thing I don't think I was totally switched into at the time, which now makes me realise was probably the reason I said yes to doing the academy, was the whole sort of soul-led side of things, and the fact that you work. It's like I've done courses before, but this isn't a course. This is like a nurturing journey where it's just like every time, like you hit a roadblock, and it's all psychological. It's all that feeling of like, oh, I'm not good enough. Who am I to teach other people? And why would anyone listen to me? And, the things that surprised me was that within the challenge, it was put forward in a way that made me really think about, why am I doing this? Who is this really for? And that this isn't about me per se. Like, this is about me sharing my message to help other people. Like, I'm not doing this because I want to hurt people, or just I want to share this with people, because quite frankly, like, it has actually really, really helped me. And I believe that it can help people on an individual level, but also, like, food waste is a massive environmental problem. So if people are wanting to do something towards food waste, it's like, well, towards climate change, food waste is a really good place to start.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this, you know, this is just that.
It's one of those areas, isn't it, that we can all actually start doing our bit a little bit more in our own homes, and it's something that's actually so easy but can have such a huge impact. And I think that that environmental part as well is a game changer, because I think like everyone's starting to realize that we've got to all start taking a bit of responsibility around this, and you know, thinking about how we're actually, you know, using food and everything else in our lives. And so I think that it's also really exciting that you've got this in place, and it really can make such a big difference.
Yeah, and I genuinely don't feel like I would have got this far without the Academy, because just that process of having sort of the building blocks of doing things in a certain order, like having the training there, so that it's like, okay, this week I'm just focusing on this thing, but then also having the group to reassure and support and share all of kind of our worries and things, and then basically, you know, whenever we get on a call and you're like, I'll be making a story here. Just, you know, and it's always in the nicest way, but like, that's what I need, because I think the thing I've always felt like I've lacked is somebody in my life who is entrepreneurial in the way that I need someone to be entrepreneurial. Like, you know, my dad's got his own business, but it was a very different thing. The world is different. So I've not really got anyone directly close to me who's doing anything like what I'm doing. And although like my husband's supportive, he doesn't really understand. You know, it's more of a like, okay, yeah, it's, you know, I think it sounds like a great idea, you go do that. So yeah, I think for me, like having the Academy there, it was quite although obviously like financially I was a bit like, I've just been made redundant, is this a good thing? And then it was like, but how, I'm not going to move forward. If I want to do this, I want to go for it. I want to make it happen. And I think that was the thing that like the Academy gave me the accountability to go, right, just do it. Just, you know, have the confidence and the conviction in what you're doing, and believe in it. And yeah, I don't think I would have got as far as I have without having that support there, really.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So, okay, I think people will watch this and they'll be like, okay, how do I find out more about the full freezer? Because I love the business that you're building. I love the fact that it actually helps support our planet and will hopefully help people, you know, be more careful with their food waste and everything. And I just adore you as well, because I think that you're gorgeous and your energy is beautiful. And you're a soul client. Right? I've absolutely loved supporting you. So how can people find out more about the full freezer, so they can like create their own freezer stashes and they can have like their easy go-to, you know, stir fries, or they can batch cook? I mean, there's so much that you teach within that. I think that's one of the things that like I want people to see, because it's not just batch cooking or this or this. It's actually this, like once people make these small changes, it can actually have a massive impact, right? Which is why I really think it's so exciting. Teaching that, I think that's one of the things.
Sorry, I'm trying to add the comment in my thing. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing, and I've really tried to focus in on the things that are the stumbling blocks that people come up against. So like you come across loads of internet recipes and things that will say this recipe is freezable. And it's like, that's great, but how do people safely defrost it? How should I reheat it? You know,
how long can I leave it frozen for? Because my husband would happily leave it frozen for 5 years and then eat it.
You know what? There was a study released, I think it's about a week ago, that they found that 5% of Britons have got stuff in their freezer that's more than 5 years old. And it's like, what a waste of freezer space. Like, that is absolutely great. Yeah. If anybody has that issue, then come and talk to me.
Okay. So, Kate, so you've got your Facebook business page, you've got a group.
Yes.
You've got a program that's going to be coming up.
That's going to be coming up. So I'm going to be, so I will pop, as we speak, the wonders of live action. So facebook.com/group. So there is a link to the group on there now. But if anybody wants to come and join that, obviously free group, we share advice and answer people's questions and celebrate successes. There is a freebie in there at the moment that people can get, which is what have I called it now? It's the stress-free Christmas. So stress-free Christmas dinner. So it's essentially how you can be prepared, because especially I think in times of COVID, like we don't know, you don't want to be going to the shops particularly.
Well, here's the thing, Christmas Eve, you could be planning to have like 10 family members around, and then you've got 9 o'clock, the government might tell us, no, sorry, we've changed our mind. So who knows? Indeed, yes.
That's it. And you think like in previous years, your way of being organized could be like, I'm going to book a delivery slot so that I know that the food's coming. But what if you get a substitution, and they're like, we've given you broccoli instead of Brussels sprouts or whatever. It's like, for me, knowing that at least Christmas dinner is adaptable, so you can cook less if you have to cook less, and how to defrost it and all of that is really helpful. So people can grab that in the group. I'm also going to be running a challenge at the start of November, which will be essentially going from sort of cooking stress to cooking success. So how to get out of that dinner time rut of eating the same things over and over and over again. And then, I will be opening the doors to selling my program, which will teach people everything in a really nice, bite-size, easy to digest sort of a way. And hopefully convert a lot of people to the reality that the freezer is actually awesome. Like I know a lot of people are like, oh, freezer food, but honestly, like those stir fries would take 5-10 minutes with a freezer fresh.
Transforming freezer food around the world, Kate. I love it.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So those of you who want to come and join Kate's group, she has popped it in the comments. As she said, once you go in there, there's a freebie about the Christmas dinner. She's got all kinds of things. So go and check her out. Have a little look. Hi, Sean. So Kate, just thank you so much for being here, for also sharing about the Academy. Are there any kind of last words or anything that I haven't asked you that you want to kind of share?
I think the main thing I would say is that if anybody is sort of teetering on the fence and they're like, is this something that's going to help me? Is this something that's going to move me forward? I would say yes, absolutely. Like I knew bits and pieces of what we've done in the Academy before I joined. I knew about funnels and that sort of selling process, but the mindset work, the stuff around confidence, things like going live on Facebook, I was terrified to go live. And now it's like quite happily, and just have a chat. And I think that thing of having not only you but the group to sort of support you through it, and help you to focus in on what's actually important to you. Why are you doing this? What do you want from this? Is really, really valuable, because when you get stuck in your own head, like I know even from sort of a week ago, I thought I got everything kind of cracked of what my plan was, and then I just hit a wall. And it was only when we had sort of my SOS call that it was like, okay, yes, right, I know what I need to do now. Like I was just so stuck otherwise. So I think people, you have to invest in yourself if you want to move forwards. For anybody who's teetering but definitely knows they want to do what they're doing, then I'd say just go for it.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It's been fantastic having you here. If anyone has got any more questions for Kate or anything else, feel free to pop them in. We'll always see them later. Those of you who have joined us live, thank you. It's amazing to see you. Chloe, hello. Sean, lovely to see you. Yanni, lovely to see you. She says you are awesome, Kate. Absolutely love it. And good luck. Right, thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone. We will see you soon. Bye.